I last orders in. So here we are at the end of season 4. Last orders has finally been called. Over the last few years we've been to quite a few places, met a lot of people and seen a lot of things. Putting them all in order has been really tough, but here we are. Peaty's top 10 tip moments. That's a mouthful, eh? So first up, in at number 10, let's take a look back at when I made my first mini bike, the V16. All my sponsors kicked in and we got products sent straight away and we got the new bike built really fast. Yeah, everyone is going for longer wheelbase, bigger wheels, more suspension on their bikes, but we decided to take it back a notch and go for a rigid rear end. There was plenty of funny moments throughout the day, but the worst thing for me was pushing the bike down into this little hole going really fast before a big takeoff.
I reckon I just had a quick lesson from 16-inch bike.
I think the point from the front wheel being on the ground to doing a manual to being on your back is very small. Plenty of chaos on the day with all the This Is Sheffield boys. Turns out those bikes are way harder to ride down the hill fast than you would think. You should give it a go one day. Me, whenever I do any race, I want to win. In at number 9 was drift trikes. We had an awesome day on these things, something I'd always wanted to do, and we hooked up with Joe from JR Drift Trikes.
Let's go!
Sheffield was the perfect venue. Loads of hills to bomb and some fresh tarmac which had just been laid for the Tour de France. For me, I think one of the craziest things about that day was Joe turned up with a van full of drift trikes. We drove to the top of a big hill near my house. Didn't even have a play on them to try and get used to them and bombed straight down a huge hill, not knowing how to control one of the things.
Tim just hit the back of the car at full speed, yeah, because I stopped and he couldn't stop.
There's plenty of carnage, quite a few incidents, but I think we were all lucky to make it out alive that day.
Oh, fucking hell. Mate, you right?
How's your head angle?
Next up, in at number 8, Ratty's Podium singing. So turn down the volume, cover your children's ears, and let's hear Ratty sing. It all started in Cairns when him and Jaffa were on the podium, and neither of them knew the words to the national anthem.
Man, elite,
Leargang was a good one. Ratty got his first win, and we all got to see him sing on the podium. Unbeknown to a lot of you, he didn't know the words at all.
God save our gracious Queen. That was about a lot, bro. Steve and Sambo stood opposite me, and they were trying to sing it to me, so I could like lip read them. But we got it well wrong. Woo! That was more.
So that year, Ratty had the season of his life. Lucky for us, we got to see him sing more than once.
Oh, Queen!
One of my personal favourites, in at number 7, the Rocky training montage. Winters in Sheffield can be pretty harsh sometimes, and I needed to change my training up. So I decided to grow a beard and do a bit of Rocky training. There was a lot of standout moments for me doing that Rocky montage, but I think getting the chicken from Nando's and running up the classic Sheffield terrace street with it dripping down my beard and chomping away was pretty fun. In true Sheffield style, we visited a few places around the city, ran up some steps, punched some meat and just had good fun making that little skit. So we're on to number 6. This is a bit of a painful one. Back at the start of 2014, we decided to go to Barcelona for a pre-season race. we were hanging out with Bernard Gardia and a few of his local pinner friends. Eddie was the guy we were doing runs with. Each time Eddie was doing a massive nose wheelie down the road, round the corner at the end, back to the uplift truck. But right at the end I asked him if I could film him, put it on the helmet cam and film a nose wheelie. That's where it all went wrong. In at number 5, we go back to 2013 for this one. Start of the season, we always get to go out to Santa Cruz. This year we were staying down in a house on the beach. But luckily for us, there were some beach cruises in the garage. In typical racer fashion, me and the Rat were trying to one-up each other all day. One of the funniest but scariest things that happened that day was my stem snapping. We were at the skate park, I was riding across a little wall and I just dropped off the end and the stem just folded.
No way. Better go get the bitch welded up, haven't we?
This one's done.
So at the end of that trip, we left Santa Cruz and headed down to Laguna Seca for the Otter Classic. One of the best events there is the dual slalom. I've had some good times over the years racing dual slalom at the Otter, but this year I'd got a custom bike built up just for the race. But it turned out my Bronson felt a lot better with its dropper post and bottle cage on it. Yeah, it was a bit of a weird slalom for me, that one. Got a little bit lucky against Rat, he went down against me.
And he's fucking solid, he's so rad.
Moved through to the second round and me and Cam Cole both went down in one of our runs. But luckily I made it through to finals, went up against Jared Graves. For a second, I think Jared Graves was actually getting nervous about being beaten by a 40-year-old. It was a rad way to start the season, and I can't wait to race that thing again. So here we are, moving into the final 3. Podium positions are to be had. Let's take a look at my new nickname, Cappuccino Peaty.
Steve, we're going with City!
Obviously, everybody knows I like a beverage or two, but at this point in time I decided to have a month off, get fit, get into my training. Rat and Greg, on the other hand, were still drinking, and every time I ordered a cappuccino they decided to take the mickey out of me. Rat and Kathy had gone to San Francisco shopping for the day without me. During that day they decided to do the lap of the coffee shops looking for Cappuccino Steve.
Steve! Excuse me, mate. Have you seen Steve?
Sorry?
Have you seen Steve?
Steve?
You don't know who Steve is? He's a legend. How can you... There's only one Steve.
I know Steve.
It could take me a while to get rid of that nickname. Cheers, Rat Boy. Taking the runner-up spot, it's definitely one of the loosest moments we've had filming This Is Peaty. Thailand long jump contest. The whole week in Thailand was pretty mental. We had a very loose crew, we got to do some boxing, sample the local cuisine, and at the end of the week we got to see the local Thai riders going huge. At the end of the track there was a jump, bit of a step up, with trees lined down either side of it and a horrible corner right after the landing.
He used Thai Airways, I think. Took off.
On our second visit to Thailand, we came up with a new dangerous idea, the high jump. The high jump sounds safer on paper, but there was still plenty of carnage. Being the older fella in the crew, I don't pop too high off jumps, so I left it up to Ratty and the locals to go big for the crowds.
Rat boy! Rat boy! Rat boy!
So we're finally here, the top spot. I thought it'd be really hard to pick this one, But when I sat down and thought about it, it was a no-brainer for me. I've been friends with Ratty now for a long time, and over the years it's been good to see him grow as a rider and a racer. I wouldn't have picked Leergang as a place that Rat would win his first World Cup. Rat was sat in the hot seat with just one man left on the hill. Like Bruni was on a stormer of a run, up on Rat's time at the final split, and unfortunately went down in the final shoot. I knew from the first moment I met Rat that he was capable of winning a World Cup, but to go out and do it's no easy feat. Something clicked for Rat in 2014. He'd built up a good few years of solid training, and I knew something was going to happen for him that year.
They always say a World Cup win takes a while to settle in. I don't think Rat Boys have settled in for me yet, so like stoked and happy for him. It's Father's Day and it feels like a little Father's Day present for me this year.
Ratty had won his first World Cup, and it was also my 40th birthday. We had a few things to celebrate that night. We ended up in an old medieval style restaurant that night. The beers were flowing and the food was getting thrown around.
Drop a heavy hit, brother.
After plenty of beers and a bit of a food fight, we were lucky enough to hear Rat sing again.
We're Elbum and Leo gang. We fly Leo gang. We Fogbirds and Leo gang. Hippodrop and Leo gang.
As we all know, he got in a bit of a roll that season. He went on to win the overall, and I couldn't be more proud of my little Rat. Yeah. So that's our top 10 best moments of This Is Peaty over the years. If you think we've missed anything, be sure to leave us a comment below. One moment that I really struggled to give a ranking to, because now it has a special place in my heart, is the time that we spent together with Stevie Smith and the boys in South Africa. Stevie had a tough week. He'd crashed in finals, so the day after we all met up at Greg's local, the Thistle, to plan some fun activities for that day.
Scooters it is.
Oh, what's up?
Here's the chainsaw. That's perfect.
Chainsaw Massacre, that's me, brother. See if I can do a clean press. No. Hey, honestly, I got a few hundred Canadian.
Yeah!
Get out of my way.
Now he's a champion, man.
So what did you do? You did this? I lifted it up. Pussy.
What's the break? I need it, you big lesbian.
Where'd we go?
Wrong way, Steve.
That's the wrong way.
It's a one-way down.
This thing sucks.
Oh, it's shit. It's the shit.
In my whole time growing up and realizing that girls, they don't like the back of the motorcycle. That sucks.
It was one of the best days spent with the boys. In true Stevie style, he was the life and soul of the party. We're going to miss you forever, mate. Long live the chainsaw. As always, I want to say a big thank you to all you guys, the fans, the sponsors, and all the people that made Last Orders happen this year. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers.